What's up everyone, Danny Lightning back with another warrobots video. Today we are going to do a Titan weapon guide. We'll rank each weapon from 1 star to 5 star. And I'll do a little overview on each weapon to let you guys know what it's good at and what it's not good at, the strengths, the weaknesses, and all that good stuff. So hopefully this guide will help you decide which Titan weapons you want to go for. Each weapon has an alpha and a beta, or a light and a heavy, or a big and a small, or whatever you want to call it, but we're just going to start with the alphas. We're just going to cover alphas on here because the counterpart's the same darn thing, just not quite as good. Okay, so the new freeze rocket weapons, they have a 300 meter range. I'm going to give these about a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really like them, except for the short range. They do a lot of damage, they freeze people. These are just all around really good weapons. Of course, they're brand new and they're very hard to get, but these weapons are awesome. Very good damage, just short range. Next, we have the Buluva weapons, minor special editions. So special editions do 5% more damage. Not a huge deal, but it's kind of nice. Whether you have the regulars or the specials, it's all good. I'm going to give these a 3 stars. These are kind of like a rocket weapon that shoot out and they kind of lob up over top of stuff and they come down and they hit things, but they have a tendency to miss fast moving robots and only do a little teeny bit of splash damage. So I don't really recommend these. I'm going to give these maybe a 2 star, mainly for that reason that if you can hit the target and land the shot completely, the damage is really good, but it's very hard to hit the fast moving targets, and these days everybody has fast moving robots for the most part, so I don't really recommend these ones. Next, we have the dazzlers. I'm going to give these a 4-star rating. They do very good damage, not the best damage, but they do very good damage. They also blind people, which is what makes them very deadly. These are overall great weapons. I like them a lot. They don't have a lot of weaknesses, except for if you're at point blank, when somebody has one of the higher damage weapons, they will destroy you before you can damage them. These are more for fighting from a distance and not up close. So if you want a nice longer range weapon that blinds people that does decent damage, these are probably for you. Next, we have the Grom. I'm going to give these about a 4-star rating. These are very good, very high damage weapons, but not as high damage as some of the others. These do the most damage at point blank. They have a 500 meter range, but they do very little damage at 500 meters. They do huge damage at point blank, but not as much damage as some of the other weapons. Next, we have the veyron and the evora type weapons. These are just top notch. I'm going to give these a 5-star right now. They do the most damage up close, but they still do pretty decent damage from a distance as well. They have a 500 meter range. These things rock, especially up close. They're not the highest damage weapon up close, but they're probably the second highest damage up close. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to give these about a 5-star rating, honestly. I think these deserve a 5-star. If you really think about it, these weapons are just pure awesome at the moment. The glaive weapons, these things hit very hard. They do have a 500 meter range, and I'm going to give these a 5-star for a longer range weapon. This isn't something you want to brawl with at point blank. Alright, other weapons will destroy you at close range, but if you can stay back a bit, these things will just wreck people from a distance. These are amazing, amazing range weapons. I absolutely love these things. If you can get your hands on these, they are totally worth building. Next, we have the Maha, Vajra, and the Vajra. These are kind of like a energy shotgun type of weapon. They do horrible, crazy, nasty damage at close range. Probably the hardest hitting weapon in the game, but they have a 500 meter range. From 500 meters, they barely do anything because as you shoot, the ammo spreads out, and well, of course, at 500 meters, hardly any of the ammo hits, but at close range, these do more damage than anything in the game. If you're looking for crazy damage at point blank, I give these a 5-star rating, and they are insanely good. Next, we have the Gargantua weapons. These can hit multiple targets, and they steal people's life. So when you shoot people, it basically takes their life and heals you back a little bit, which is very nice. These are very good weapons. I'm probably only going to give them about a 3.5 stars because they don't do as much damage as I would like, but if you can happen to find a group of like 3 or 4 or 5 guys all in a thing, all in a group, you can hit them all and damage them all at the same time. And at that point, these things are doing massive overall damage and big amounts of healing. Now, if you're only shooting 1 or 2 guys with these, the healing and the damage is a little bit less, I would say. I would give these maybe 3.5 stars just due to that. But if you can shoot a group of people, I give these a 4.5 stars. They're kind of situational as to how good they are. Next, we have the Basilisk. Hardly anybody uses these because they're a little bit hard to use. They do great damage up close, great damage at the distance. The damage doesn't change on the distance on these ones. I find these weapons can be a little bit hard to aim, but for the damage they do and what they are, I would definitely give these about a 4.5 star rating. They're very good. The majority of people don't really seem to like them, but I think they're pretty nice. They do DOT damage, which is damage over time. They hit very, very, very hard, but they're a little bit hard to use, so they're not for everybody. Next, we have the Striker. These have an 800 meter range, and they do massive damage, but they do have a pretty little bit of a long reload time. And if somebody gets close to you, you're going to have a really hard time defending yourself with these because it's one shot every 8 seconds. Now, that shot does massive damage, but these are definitely a longer range weapon. If anybody gets close to you and you have these, you're in trouble. Therefore, I give these about a 3-star rating. Next up on the list, we have the Cataclysms, which has one major flaw, which is lock on, right? You have to lock on with these, and right now there are stealth robots everywhere. So if a robot goes into stealth, you lose your lock on. Then when they come out of stealth, you got to wait to lock on again. So that is a big problem with the current stealth meta. More and more things just keep coming out and going into stealth. These weapons do more damage up close than they do at a distance, so the closer you get, the harder to hit. I think these are excellent brutal weapons when there's not a bunch of stealth running around. So right now, at the time I'm making this video, I would only give these about a 2.5 star rating because of all the stealth. If there was no stealth anywhere and you could just lock on and do your thing and not have to worry about losing the lock on, I would actually give these a 5 star, but the stealth is currently rooting these weapons, so I don't currently suggest them. Next, we have the gendarme. I don't know how to say this weapon, but we got these weapons right here. These got a 600 meter range. They're pretty cool. They got a really long reload time. They hit pretty hard. I would give these about a 3.5 stars. I mean, they're just they're older weapons. They're just kind of so-so. I don't actually run them myself. I don't really recommend them. But, you know, if you got them, they're okay. They're okay weapons. They're nice weapons. They just don't really float my boat for some reason. Next, we have these rocket weapons for your Titans. These things do huge amounts of damage, but there's a lot of drawbacks to these. I would also give these 3 stars. Now, there are a few people out there that absolutely love these things and they run them, but the majority of people I know, they run them and they're just like, nope, including myself. I just don't like these. I'm going to give these a 2 star, but that's my personal opinion. There may be some people out there that love them, but just not for me. Next, we have the Rengeance, the Titan machine guns. These things are okay, right? I would give these a 3 star rating, maybe a 2 star rating. These used to be really, really, really good for a long time, and then Pixar nerfed them because they are starter weapons, so I kind of get it, but they're just not as good as they used to be. These used to be amazing for years. Now they're just kind of I mean, they're nice to start off with. They do the job for a newer player, but you're definitely going to want to move on. I would only give these about a 2.5 star at the moment, just because they don't seem to do enough damage. They have a 10-second reload time. They do have a 500 meter range, but again, they spread out. So the further away you get, the less of the ammo is hitting the enemy, meaning these do more damage up close. But even at up close, the damage is a little bit disappointing, I would say. Now, these are a small weapon only. The Cinder, we actually missed one. Cinders are pretty cool. Most people don't run them anymore because they have a very, very long reload, 16-second reload. I love these things on the Minos. I would still run these on the Minos, but I don't think I would put them on anything else. But we're only going to give these a 3 star due to the fact that they have a 16-second reload. Otherwise, I would probably give them about a 4 star. But yeah, the reload kills these things. So that's pretty much all of it. These Oxy weapons are definitely worth getting. The Lantern and the Dazzlers are definitely worth getting. The Veyron and Evora is awesome. Get these if you can. The Lance and Glave weapons are really good. Vaha and Maha Vajra, awesome weapons. Definitely get these if you can. The Kraits, I don't know, hard to use, but some people would really like them. Definitely worth getting and leveling up, but these aren't for everybody. Alright, so I really hope this guide helps you decide which Titan weapons might be for you, which ones you should get, which ones to try out. there's a lot of good Titan weapons out there. There's a lot of bad Titan weapons out there. You know, you're going to start off with those machine guns. Level them up a little bit as you can. Don't put too many resources into them until you can get something better. You will outgrow those Titan machine guns eventually. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of War Robots content. If you drop down the video's description, there's some ways to help support the channel in there. There's some game news, some info, some stuff you need to see. And hey, we will catch you next time. Thanks for watching, liking it out. See ya.